Hello students, here is a video for the word job. So everybody say job, job. And so this is a word that isn't too hard to understand, but people sometimes have trouble if you're a Spanish speaker because of the fact that we have in Spanish the word trabajo, which has actually two translations in English, job and work, and they're not the same. So let me explain that, okay? So a job, it says it's work for which you receive regular payment. And so let's talk a little more about it here. A job is a position, un empleo. Job is a position. And work is the activities that you do at your job. So for example, I have a job as a teacher. That's my position. And then what is my work? My work is explaining concepts to students, grading papers, planning classes. Those different activities that I do are work. They're work. But the job is actually the position. So I would say that in Spanish, it might be better to actually think about, if you're trying to think what is a job, think about the word empleo and not the word trabajo. Because the word trabajo can confuse you, right? Because trabajo in Spanish can either be the position or it can also be the activities. But in English, those are two different words. Again, job is the position and work is the activities. And if you look at the definition up here at the top, it says job is work for which you receive regular payment. So, I mean, you're receiving regular payment, so that makes it a position. It's not just, so that's the difference. It says work. Yeah, it's kind of like work, but it's work for which you receive regular payment. So it's a position because regular payment, like you have a contract or you have an agreement with the boss who says, I will pay you every 2 weeks, I will pay you every month if you do this. Versus work is activities that you do, but it only turns into a job if you're getting regular payment. So again, that's more like an empleo in Spanish. It can also be un trabajo, sí, también, but if you think about empleo, you'll be less confused, I think, if you're writing sentences with it. And so a sentence with that is, with that definition of job, is many students attend EP because they hope to get better jobs with their knowledge of English and high school diploma. So people are hoping that if they go to EP and finish and graduate, they will be able to get a better job, a better position, because they have more qualifications. They know more things than they did before they came to our school. So that's an example sentence. And there are no familiar words for this. Synonyms for job, let's see. I would actually say that work is not the best synonym for job. So I would actually almost, it's too late for me to edit this, but I don't really like it here. I would say synonyms for job, we could say task, or we could also say maybe like position, position. So antonym for job, unemployment, or hobby, because a hobby is something you do for fun, not you don't do it because you need to do it. All right, and then there is another definition of job. This is definition 2 for job, and this is, it says a particular task or piece of work you have to do. Countable noun. I would say for this, I put a note, which is that only people who move to different locations for work. For example, people who work in construction or repair things or clean houses use the word in this way, and the work at each location is a job. I would say. Yeah, that's at least the most common way that this is used. So if you work in, if you work in, I work at Escuela Popular, I wouldn't say that, one thing that I have to do is one job and I finished it and now I'm doing another job. I don't say that. But what kinds of people often say this are people who move to different locations. So an example is a sentence down below. The plumber was late to his job at 4 p.m. The plumber was late to his job at 4 p.m. because the job at 3 p.m. took longer than expected. So what does that mean? That means that this plumber is somebody who has schedules going to different customers at different times of the day. So he would have one job at 3 p.m. and a different job at 4 p.m. And sometimes if the job at 3 p.m. is more complicated, then that person will be late to the next job. And so it doesn't mean, and so, but we could say, well, but wait a minute, this person, he's still working as a plumber. So if you ask him, what is his job? He would say, my job is, I am a plumber, soy plomero. That is definition 1, his position. But then here, this is definition 2, his particular job would be like in one person's house, he fixes this. Then he leaves, he goes to another person's house to fix something else. And that other place at the other house where he fixes something else, that would be a different job. So again, yeah, it's a particular task, something that he has to do, una tarea, una cosa que tiene que hacer en un lugar, y luego va a otro lugar para hacer otra cosa. But that's only used for people in certain who do certain kinds of work. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And okay, and here I did change it. This is what I wanted to put on the other card, but I forgot to change it. Position is what I really wanted to say for the translation rather than work, because if you say work, it can be confusing. Okay, and here is a sentence. This is the sentence that we would copy if we were making cards back at school. This sentence is, "The Grapes of Wrath" is a famous book. Describes one family's journey to California to look for a job. So in that book, there's a family that is from Oklahoma. They don't have jobs there, and they go to California looking for jobs in California. So that's the way that word is used there. Thank you very much.